politics. Across the United States, pressures are rising for the president to speak out for racial equality as a moral issue. But a strong speech could cost the president Southern support for new civil rights legislation he would like to have. The president must decide whether or not to speak out anyway in a nationwide TV address. I didn't think so. It just really depends on whether we have something on the university that I would, but otherwise I didn't think that we would at this point. I think it'd be helpful. I think it's a reason to do it. I think you don't talk about the legislation and talk about employment, talk about education. To do it for 15 minutes, I think would alleviate a lot of problems. Well, we can do it. I suppose we could do it. I don't even want to do the half hour. I think it would take away a lot of the problems that we have to discuss. Well, they don't hold the legislature. You mean in the legislature? They already, because they're going to be hold the regular. Because I think it's going to come across reasonable and understanding. It's going to make a speech, nothing to happen. Oh, what are you going to introduce the legislation? I think you can say that. Difficulty with him and describe the fact that we're going to problem this summer. We hope that the fact that we're making this kind of effort at the federal level that Negroes would understand their responsibilities. I know. Legislators have heard. I think you get to the real look at this thing on the hill. That's when you may want to do this. Well, I mean, even if that's going to be September, October, November, I don't think you can get by now without saying, hey, address on television, at least during this period of time, giving some direction and having it in the hands of the president. Let's pass on now. I think we'll get something ready anyway because we'll do it tomorrow. Well, we can never ask. It's not doesn't fit all these points, but it's something to work with. So this is pretty good service in paragraphs. That was the soundtrack of a YouTube video released by Howard Willens, Willens. It's dated, published November 18th, 2013, and it's entitled "In the Room with JFK and RFK," and we want to contrast the relationship. Of course, they were brothers, between John F. Kennedy and his Attorney General, Robert F. Kennedy. Once again, when he was president-elect, he had to convince his brother to take the spot of Attorney General in his cabinet, and the way he did that, he says to Bobby, he says, Bobby, I need someone I can trust. I need someone I can consult with. I need someone that I can trust. And we want to contrast that with some of the breaking articles about Attorney General Jeff Sessions and our current president, Donald Trump, having heated arguments. And we want to remind you that it seems as though when he decided on about the 2nd or 3rd of March to recuse himself from any investigations of collusion with Russia, it seems as though he did not even consult President Donald Trump. He just recused himself without consultation, and really what the president is attempting to communicate is that recusal is as resignation. So we expect that that Attorney General Jeff Sessions is gone, that he basically is of little use anymore. And if they're having heated arguments, this is not the way. This is not the way to get through to our current president, Donald Trump, at any rate. And we fully expect him to consider a new Attorney General. And we're pointing to the Attorney General of Florida, Pam Bondi. This is Derek Chamblee. That was the audio in the room with JFK and RFK. Thank you very much. This is Derek Chamblee broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta, the next great American city, Battleground Zero, the epicenter of the 2017 Civil Defense of the United States of America. Beautiful day so far in Chamblee, Atlanta. And it's winding up on 3:30 in the afternoon, Thursday, July 20th, 2017. And we just wanted to follow up on that latest clip of the audio entitled In the Room with JFK and RFK, released by Howard Willens, published on November 18th, 2013. We want to read what is tagged on to the bottom of that video. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it on just Google Trump Path, JFK, and RFK. Alabama Justice, at any rate. Here's what it reads. From the documentary film, quote, Crisis, unquote, by Robert Drew, 1963, meeting at the White House the day before the anticipated confrontation with George Wallace, who was the governor of Alabama, on the doorsteps of the University of Alabama over the admission of 2 black students to the university. Alabama was the last state to resist integration of its schools. President Kennedy was considering a speech on the issue at this meeting with many of his advisors, including Ted Sorensen. Robert Kennedy was the only person in the room advocating that the president speak out on the issue of civil rights. This meeting ended without the president making a decision on such a speech. And once again, we want to contrast the way that they conducted a meeting between more individuals than just JFK and RFK, but the kind of relationship that they had. And this is the only way that our current president, Donald Trump, is going to be able to steer the United States out of America onto the right path, to steer it out of he mentioned before that Andrew Jackson could have solved the Civil War, and we get the impression that he feels as though he would have been able to, President Trump would have been able to solve the Civil War. Well, anyway, it's Alabama Justice. It's Sessions is gone. He needs a new Attorney General that he can consult with, a new Attorney General that he can trust. And once again, they're breaking news articles today about heated conversations, heated discussions between current Attorney General Jeff Sessions and our current President Donald Trump. And of course, his comments in the New York Times article yesterday that in essence he was not in agreement with the recusal of Attorney General Sessions, and if he had known that before he selected him, and he was confirmed by the Senate as well, he would have said, Jeff, I've got to get somebody else, okay? And once again, we want to point out how Attorney General Jeff Sessions was under oath, not just during his confirmation, answering questions, where he omitted, some of his contacts or whatever with Russia when he was being confirmed, and then he came back under oath, and all of a sudden he's a know-nothing. He knows nothing. He can't, basically tell them anything. Look for Jeff Sessions to be recalled and basically investigated for, they call it contempt of Congress, not perjury necessarily. They call it contempt of Congress. And it's a terrible thing in the United States of America to see our Attorney General, raising his hand and taking an oath, so help me God, to tell the whole truth, and then be called back on things that he omitted or did not tell the truth on, or couldn't remember. This is a terrible thing for justice, Alabama justice, and so we fully expect that we'll have a new Attorney General, and that's what our current president needs. He needs someone he can consult with, someone that will consult with him, someone that can carry on a measured conversation, and someone that he can trust. This is Derek Chamblee, CYRADYO, Cyber Citizen Network. Beautiful day, Chamblee, Atlanta. Thursday, July 20th, 2017. Thank you very much.